All right, so in order to start this project, you are going to need to get one of these cardboard discs, which have been cut out by all of our teachers here at Museum. Each of you will receive one of them. You can choose what side you want to put your name on. If you are in a class like our 6th graders where there's fin whales and skylarks, make sure you put your name and then the class that you're in, so we can make sure we get your project back to you at the end of the year. So I'm going to go ahead and put Mrs. Hadley on mine. Your name is going to go on the very back of your disc. So as soon as you have your name put on your disc, go ahead and turn it over, okay? Then you should have picked out your colored string that you want to start with. I chose to cut a very long piece of string to start, just so that way I knew I would have enough. You're going to take just one end of the string and you're going to tie a knot, leaving a loop at one end. This loop helps us tie all of our pieces together. Helps us tie all of our pieces together, so that way once we are totally done with them, we are able to make this ginormous quilt that hangs up with all of our pieces. On the back, you can tape this anywhere. Could use just clear Scotch tape for this. I recommend using 2 pieces just so your string doesn't slide out from in between your tape. And now with all this leftover string, you're going to find the other end. You're going to place it through the hole from the back, flip over your disc, grab your string, pull the whole thing carefully through. Oh man. Make sure it doesn't get all tangled up, because if you get tangled up right at the beginning, you are not going to be off to a good start. So you should have your loop taped down the back, your string going through to the front of your disc. You're going to wrap it around the disc, pull your string over, pop it back through the hole. Use your fingers to pull the string all the way through without it getting all knotted. And then you're going to repeat that process again. So I just wrapped my string around, poking it back through the hole from the back to the front, carefully pulling all my string through. Now these strings, you do want them to be rather tight. If you pull too much though, you are going to tear this hole in the center, and that's going to cause a really big problem for you as we start our project. So this little triangle here is one section. In total, you will want at least 9 sections. So go ahead and pull your string around and back through this hole until you have 9 triangles around your circle. So I'm going to do that quick. Go ahead and take a minute to carefully do it for yourself. And hopefully you cut enough string for this very first step. If you didn't, you can just tie another piece of the same colored yarn to the end of the piece that you're using now and continue on with this process until you get those 9 sections. You have enough string and you want to do more than 9 sections, that is totally fine. And don't worry right now about sections being the equal width or all the same size. We are able to move these around as soon as we have at least 9 sections, okay? Just don't let them overlap in the center. You can all see that the yarn has its own space. Let's see how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, I'm gonna throw in one more wrap around of my string. I'm going to pull it here, and on the back, when I get to my last one, I'm going to pull this tight, and the string next to it, I'm going to tie this to. That way it doesn't come loose. So you may, if you struggle to tie knots on your own, you may need to have a partner help you or your teachers. Not a huge deal at all. This is why we work together as a team, just so that way we can all have the best end product possible. If you have a lot of string left over, go ahead and just cut it off. Just leave a tiny little tail. This tail does not matter. When you flip it over, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oops, I accidentally did 10, but that's okay. 9 was our minimum, so you should have at least 9 of these triangles. If you have 10, great. If you have 11, awesome. If you have 8, you're going to need to make one more. Okay, so go ahead and flip it back over. You're going to cut yourself a new piece of string. This can also be as long as you want to, but just for our tutorial's sake, I'm going to show you with my leftover string. On the back, you are going to loop one end of your new string underneath any one of these strings, and you're going to tie a knot. We want to keep this string nice and tight on the back. Once you have that, you can go ahead and take the other end, just like we did, and poke it through to the other side. Carefully pull it through, and you can start weaving at the front. Now the next couple videos will walk you through some of the ways that you can go about weaving all the way around this circle. Everybody's piece should look different in the end. Please make sure that you are weaving pretty tightly but carefully, and then make sure that your work is branching out instead of getting stacked up, okay? So keep your eyes out for those next videos. Make sure you have at least 9 sections, so 9 of these triangles on your disc, and make sure your name first and last is on the back. All right guys, have fun.